everybody, Yom Tov, and it's me, and sorry for missing yesterday, but I had a sore throat and, what have you, and my throat still keeps coming and going, but it is the last day of June, and I want to celebrate Pride as I did with you last year. And I told you I was waiting for a t-shirt that I bought from a friend, and she sent it, and here it is, and it says, "Not all heroes wear capes," and I'm really proud of it there. What do you think of that? Isn't that just amazing? I love it. So that's my t-shirt for Pride, and I just want to reiterate again that, the Haven is all-inclusive, and there is, nothing homophobic whatsoever in the Haven. And, all of you do know that I have a wonderful, handsome, gay son, and he's amazing, and you all know that. And I'm doing this in honour of him and of all of the Haveners that are LGBTQ. I told you I'll work on that and try and get that right. I've tried to do some kind of rainbow effect on my eyes today. I know that red and yellow and orange are missing, but orange and yellow on me just make me look bleh. I look like vanilla blancmange, which is, it's not a good effect. But I thought, there's, there's red and, and anyway, and I've got red lipstick on, and I've tried to put some colour on my eyes, as you can see, and I just wanted to glitter and glow for the gods and just celebrate all that is Pride, and my pride at being the mother of a wonderfully gay young man, because it is an honour, and I am so proud of him, and I am very, very proud of all my friends in the LGBTQ community, because I love you to bits, and you know I do, and you know that you can come here. It's your safe haven. Nobody will criticise you here. You are accepted 1,000,000%. We're all just human beings. The thing is with me, it doesn't matter what colour you are. It doesn't matter if you've got a religion or none, politics or none, any other kind of beliefs or none. You can believe in sky blue, pink, yellow dot clouds. It makes no difference. If you need a safe haven, if you want a place that is all-inclusive, that you are free of judgment and being treated badly, then this is the place for you. Because the Haven is a safe haven for anyone who needs it. I want to do my bit for the mental health community. And let's face it, all of us have been through some kind of mental health challenge at some point in our lives. I'm saying all of us. I would say most of us have. But even if you haven't, it doesn't make any difference. If you just want a place that is completely non-judgmental, where you can be free to be you, this is it, And I do my very, very best to cater to everybody as best as I can, So I've been dying for this to come. I've been waiting and waiting. And the only other top was the one that I had on last year. And I wanted something new and I wanted something different. So when I saw this one, and it was like, hurry up and send it, I've paid you. But the post is all to pot, with the health thing. So, but it's here, as you can see, and it fits, which is brilliant. And apparently as soon as I've done with it, my son wants it. So, fine, absolutely fine. And I can borrow one of his Lady Gaga t-shirts, which is Born This Way, because he's got two of those t-shirts Born This Way. I bought them for him. So I'll just borrow one of his Born This Way t-shirts. I don't mind. You know, he's got a couple of other t-shirts with LGBTQ slogans on them. And I can't for the life of me remember what they say. They're sort of like witty and sarcastic and snippy, which I love, absolutely love. Always makes me laugh. And I'm always sort of like filled with pride, totally filled with pride. And which is just as well, because I know it's the last day of Pride Month. But I just wanted to do what I did last year and just tell you how much it means to me to have a gay son, because he's just amazing. He really is. He hasn't met the right one for him yet, but I'm sure in time, you know, when the time is right, he will, and that'll be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And I want to say to all of you out there who have ever experienced any prejudice, any hate, I don't tolerate that. And anyone who displays anything like that in this haven, it's like, there's the door. Out. And don't let the door hit you on the way out, because I just won't tolerate it. I won't tolerate racism. I won't tolerate homophobia. I won't tolerate any kind of ism, sexism, nothing. As far as I'm concerned, in this haven, we are all human beings who have built up a wonderful little family community in a tiny corner of YouTube. And, you know, life might not be perfect, right? And the majority of the time, guys, life isn't fair. I would imagine that most of us have been through a horrendous time in our lives. Whether we've lost someone dear to us, whether we've experienced discrimination, whether we've gone through the loss of a child, miscarriage, divorce, you know, any kind of trauma, health scares. There's just so many things that all of us have been through at one time or another in our lives. And it is true, life is just not fair at times. And it all boils down to, well, if I had the proverbial magic wand, and if I waved it, everybody's lives would be better. In an awful lot of cases, that's true. But if we don't face some kind of adversity, then how are we going to grow and how are we going to learn? And you don't know what love is until you've experienced, and I'm talking about relationships here, but you won't know what love is until you've met what you feel is the one, and he or she looks at you and feels the same way. And I believe in that saying, better to have loved than lost. than never to have loved at all. I don't know, I'm getting all sort of confused in my thinking here. My glands are a bit sore. But I was actually going to tell you today about a gay man, and it was my first introduction, really, apart from those couple of, obviously gay guys that me and my friend used to go to the coffee bar. We'd go upstairs to the coffee bar and would sit and listen to the conversation because they were so fascinating. But I didn't really know that much about gay people until I watched a program called The Naked Civil Servant. And that was back in the 70s, mid-70s, I would think. So I'd be not long become a teenager. And I saw John Hurt, that late great actor, become a guy called Quentin Crisp. And seeing him just absolutely fascinated me. And although he was a strange character, Quentin Crisp, because he seemed to be all het up about gay liberation. He didn't understand why there was a need for it. And he didn't like Princess Diana. He had no time for her. He called her trash. He was very opinionated. He was very outspoken. But he was extremely witty. He's known penury. He flitted between England and New York. His real name was Dennis Charles Pratt, and he was born in 1908 on Christmas Day, and he lived until 1999. So he was 90 years old when he died, and he'd lived, a long, and I would say probably a very happy life. But what he said towards the end of his life was, he'd been a rent boy, he'd been a prostitute, he tried to join the army in 1942, but he was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not discharged. Might have been discharged, I don't know, on health grounds, because he was deemed a sexual pervert, and they didn't want someone like him in the army. So he wasn't allowed to go in the army. And apparently when the GIs came over from America, he would get all dressed up, he'd dye his hair henna red, and he'd paint his fingernails red, and put makeup on, and sashay about in women's clothes. And he'd pick up GIs who were lonely and missing home. And apparently, I think Peter Tatchell, who I believe is an activist for gay rights, asked him, would he contribute, sort of, speak up about gay rights, and apparently he was dead against it. He just wasn't interested in doing it, and he didn't necessarily believe in gay liberation. But towards the end of his life, he said that he actually didn't think he was a gay man. He felt he was a trans woman. And he said that if he'd had the money when he was 25 or 26, And if the surgery had been available, he would have had it done and he would have become a woman. And that's how he felt. He felt by the end of his life, he realised that what he really was a trans woman. And I don't know what you make of that, but if you look up Quentin Crisp, you'll see his life story was called The Naked Civil Servant. He wrote 3 books, which I think one was called, I think it was The Diary of a Virgin. And there were 2 other ones which I'm really sorry, I can't remember now off the top of my head. But if you Google Quentin Crisp, then you'll find out all sorts about him there. But he was a fascinating character. And the way John Hurt portrayed him was absolutely fantastic. I'm sure it must still be available on DVD or video or Blu-ray or something somewhere. It might even be on YouTube for all I know. The Naked Civil Servant, I'm just not sure. But he did an awful lot of one-man shows. And he was doing them more or less right up until the end. But he was an absolutely fascinating character. And I just wanted to talk about him today. And my other favourite gay character, which I know a lot of people won't agree with, but was Oscar Wilde. And I thought the way he was treated was pretty bad. You know, I mean, as soon as it came out that, you know, when he had to go to face a trial and being called the things that he was called and then imprisoned, all for being gay. I'm so glad that well, especially in the UK and forward-thinking people around the world, I'm really glad that that's not the case anymore. But unfortunately, it still is the case in Russia, where being homosexual is banned. It can result in you being imprisoned. It can result in you being killed. And we still have to fight for freedom and recognition for homosexuals the world over. Just because it's the way you were born, you should be automatically accepted. You are a human being after all with feelings, and you should be loved and protected and not under constant fear of being beaten up, spat on, despised, just because, you know, whether you're gay, lesbian, bi, trans, whatever, you know, everybody should be accepted for who they are. And it's really, really important. It especially is to me. You know, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I know an awful lot of people think just like I do. That, right, you know, I had a male friend years ago who turned around to me and he said, "How would you feel if I told you I was gay? Would it end our friendship?" And I said, "What the hell are you talking about? How would it affect our friendship?" And he said, well, I just thought, you know, you might not approve. And of course, this was when my son was very small, so I wasn't to know that he was gay. And I just said to him, it makes absolutely no difference to me. You know, if you like men, women, or sheep, or armchairs, it makes no difference. Men, women, or chairs makes no difference to me. It's how you behave. And, you know, if you behave well and you treat people well and you're kind and respectful, you know, I don't care if you fancy every single man on the planet. I couldn't care less. To me, you are a kind, warm, and loving human being. And that's all that matters. And I don't care that you're gay. And he burst into tears because he was so worried that I'd turn against him. And I remember we just stood and we hugged and hugged. Poor lad, he was so relieved. And it had turned out that, you know, he'd had to leave home at 16 because he'd come to his parents and they'd packed his stuff. They'd actually gone and packed his stuff and said, there, get out. And I didn't know that up to that point. No, I'll tell you something else. I remember the ex-husband saying to me that if he found out that any son of his was gay, he'd be out the door before he could blink. And I said, you're wrong. And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, you've got it wrong. You've got it the wrong way around. If you did that, you'd be out the door before you could blink. And that's how that stands. And I must admit it, the marriage, although it was on a very, very downhill spiral, really spiraled a lot faster after that. Anyway, I'm trying to remember how long I've been talking to you now. I think I've been yakking to you for ages. You can hear my voice is like starting to get a bit cracky again now. It's just pure, I don't know why I'm getting this sore throat. It's not as if I've been yakking excessively. I've spent most of the weekend being asleep, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, I just wanted to, you know, be all happy and glittery and I wanted to just say, you know, I love all my haircutters, and today I'm choosing today to let all my LGBTQ haveners, I want to say I love you and you are very special to me. And if anybody says a wrong word to you, just tell me and I'll knock that block off. You know, because I will. I'll just give them that. You tell me where they are and they'll be sorry they said anything by the time I'm done with them. Okay? And don't forget it. So anyway, I hope you liked today's makeup. I am sorry about the hair. It's now getting massively out of control. Apparently the hairdresser's not coming for at least another month. So it's now responding to like mouse tails or rat tails or whatever the kind of bloody tails it is. Certainly not frog tails. But I think it's now at the length that I think I'll probably want to keep it. You know, it's the best I can do. So anyway, just remember, not all heroes wear capes, right? That's very important. And I really do hope you like the t-shirt because I'm quite fond of it myself. I'll just tilt the camera down a bit so you can see it a little bit better. Let's see if I can. There. How's that? great? Don't you love it? I do. I should have actually spoke to you sitting like this, shouldn't I, really? So you could have seen it right from the beginning. What a twit I am. I get worse as I get older. And it's covered with glitter from my face because I've got this Supreme Frost on in caramel. And I'm loving the glitter. But it's everywhere. It's all over me. And it's all over my top. But, what can you do? So I wanted to say, I hope all of you have had a very happy Pride Month. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but, I'm so glad that I've managed to get to the last day in June, and I can say to you, I do hope that you've had a happy Pride Month, and I just want to say that I love you all. You have a special place in my heart, all of you. And it's important that you know that. Okay? And it's an honour to be your friend. It really is. I am honoured to be your friend. And thank you. So, please take care of yourselves. Watch what you're doing. And I will see you later, guys. Okay? I will see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye. Don't forget the t-shirt. Bye, guys.